Hello Stampers, welcome back to my studio. This is Deb Valder and I want to show you today this very elegant card. I'm going to show you the technique to do the vellum back here and also a little faux suede flower. So let's get started. I'm going to start off with a base card of 11 by 4 1/4 and I scored it at 5 1/2. The next piece that I'm going to use is the vellum, and I want to work on that before I get started with anything. So I'll leave my card here. I'm going to grab my vellum, and I actually added it to one of our grid sheets. You can purchase these grid sheets from Stampin' Up, and they're wonderful, especially for something like this that you can line up things. So here is my vellum right here, and what I did was I attached it to my grid sheet so that I could line up the vellum perfectly. So I just added it with some washi tape because the washi tape comes off. It's kind of like painter's tape, but for crafters. I use it for decorative things, but I also use it to attach things so that I can take them off without ripping any of the paper. The next thing that I'm going to use is one of our stencils, and the one I'm going to use is the one that comes with the stripes and with the circles. I'm going to use the striped one on this one, but we also have one that has hearts and stars. So let me just take these out and show you these. So here's the hearts, and then here's the stars. So we have a multitude of stencils that you can use, but for today I'm going to use the striped one, and I also am using washi tape on the top and bottom of this, and this is where the grid sheet really comes in very handy. I'm going to take, because you can't see the vellum underneath here, I know my vellum is straight, and now what I'm doing is I'm lining up my stripes with the grid sheet, and then I'll just take some washi tape and tape it down here and here. The next thing I'm going to do is take one of our sponges, and I cut mine into eighths. So I cut it into quarters, and I cut those quarters into eighths, and I'm going to take my basic gray ink. Now, the reason I'm doing this is I'm modeling it after our sale-a-bration vellum, and this was paper that was only good or around for 1 month and 1 month only, but it was absolutely gorgeous, and I had so many people choose it as their free item that I decided I wanted to kind of try to replicate it, and I did that by using one of our stencils, a sponge, and our basic gray ink. So what I did was I just inked up my sponge, and I started sponging. And what you want to do is to just burnish it all the way down your stencil, just like this. You want to burnish it in so it's nice and smooth, and it goes on so easy. Okay, see how it kind of like, you know, it just kind of sponges on, but then just burnish it in so it's nice and smooth. And it's so easy, but what a wow this is. Okay. And like I said, if you want to just dab it on and then just burnish it in, you know me and burnishing. I love to burnish. Okay, here we go. And I think I have 2 more here. It's hard to see with the vellum, but you know everything is straight because we've got it on our grid sheet. And like I said, you can purchase these grid sheets. They go a long ways. You can use and reuse them until you can't see them anymore because you got so much paint or ink on them. But they're wonderful. Okay, so that is going to be my my vellum. Let me just show you when I take it off what it looks like. So I'll lift up my stencil, and then I'll lift up my vellum, and look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, it is absolutely beautiful. If I was doing this and I wanted to see the whole thing, I would have been more careful with my washi tape, but because I am going to have this covered, it didn't matter. So I'm going to set this aside to let it dry, and it's almost dry now. It doesn't take very long on the vellum to dry, but I'm going to set it aside, and I'm going to show you how I did these faux suede flowers. So that is how I did the faux stripes on the vellum. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my framelits. This one is called Flower Fair, and it's in our 2015 Occasion catalog, and hopefully it'll be carried over to our 2016 Big catalog. It's a great stamp, or a great framelit set. And what I used out of this one was this flower right here, this leaf, and I think it was, let's see, another flower that I don't have back on here yet. But it has 11 pieces. There's a lot of things that you can do with this. One of them is to make these faux suede flowers. So what I did was I cut out a couple of different types of flower. Okay, here's one of them. And then to make faux suede like this, if you, I know you can't see it that well on my video, but this is so soft and so fuzzy. If you turn it over, this is the regular cardstock and what the cardstock looks like. But when you take and you do what I'm going to do right now, you can rip them apart and it makes it into faux suede. So what you want to do is to just very carefully just loosen up the fibers, and you do that with your bone folder and a little bit of patience. Now I'm going to turn it over and go this way, and you want to ask yourself, how do you know when it's done? Well, I'll show you. It doesn't take that long, and you can start to feel this getting softer. It's not as hard as it is with regular cardstock. So I'm just going to keep going, keep going. When I'm done, what will happen is these will start to separate. You see how these are separating right here? And that's how you're going to know that it's ready to split apart. So I'm just going to take it and I'm going to very carefully rip this apart like this. And you see how nice and fuzzy that is? It looks like faux suede. I have a card upcoming that has to do with a masculine card because Father's Day is coming up, and I wanted to show you how to do this ahead of time so that you can do your Father's Day card with faux suede. All right, so that is the inside of the card. Now, these are going the wrong way, so I'm going to very carefully just take my bone folder again and bone fold them forward. A bone folder can be found in the grab-and-go bags that I sell, along with all of the adhesives and whatnot. But these bone folders we use for everything. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm just going to crunch them up. A lot of texture in this card, a lot of texture. So there's one. Here's my bigger one. And then we're only going to need 2 of them, but I'm making 5 cards, or actually 10 cards, to send out to people that have purchased from me. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just going to set these aside and go back to my original card. So now I have my base card. The next thing I'm going to do, take my vellum, and I'm going to adhere it to the base card. So let's get our fast fuse out. I'm just going to put fast fuse onto... I'm just going to put fast fuse just in the corners and add that to my base card right here. And what I did was I made this vellum just a 1/4 inch smaller than this one, but a 1/2 inch smaller than the base card. And all of the measurements are going to be on my blog, so you can hop on over there. But I wanted to kind of show you before I put it together, so that way there, when you put this on, you can't see any of that. So now what I'm going to do is take some of my dimensionals and just put dimensionals right here in the 4 corners. All right, and that's to give it a little bit of lift and even more texture. I told you this card is very, very high in texture, which is absolutely scrumptious. It looks beautiful. The pictures in the video are not doing this card justice. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this on here like that. And you see how it's already starting to pop? Let me just make sure I got that straight. Okay, and then the next thing I need to do is to put my flowers on. I'm going to take and I'm going to put some mini glue dots on the back of these. Okay, I want the faux suede side up, so I'm just going to put a few mini glue dots right there. Remember, I scrunched them all up so it gave it even more texture. Add a few more here into the middle. And then I'm going to make a really quick fork bow. And I do have another video on this on my YouTube channel, so just hop on over if you really need to know how to do a fork bow. But they're literally this fast. I'm just going to put that together just like that. And we're almost done. I'll grab my good craft scissors from Stampin' Up. Make sure that it's nice and tight here in the front, because once you take it off of your fork, you can't change it. All right, add it right here. And we've got that ready to go. That's going to be my center part right here. I'm going to attach that with a mini glue dot, which also can be found in my grab and go bags. Fluff it up just a little bit. Now we need our leaves. And remember, I told you that came from the same framelit set. To get the little divide in the middle, what I'm going to do is take my bone folder. I'm going to take my self-healing mat and just run my bone folder down the middle of my leaves right here, just like that. All right, so there's those. Let's see, I'll grab another one. We'll just put a couple of them. You can put as many or as few as you want, but I'll just grab that one. And then I will take and put mini glue dots on again for those. Let's take our mini glue dots, and here's one here. I'm going to add these two together, and then add another mini glue dot. Stick those up there. See how it just, the colors just make it pop. There's my other leaf. Let's just throw that on there. See how fast this card is? But man, does it pop a wow. Okay, and then put these two together with mini glue dots. And you see how I'm not even touching my glue dots? Stick that right underneath there. Almost done. The next thing is to add our sentiment, and I pre-did that. I just took the Thinking of You from my Moon Lake stamp set. I love this stamp set, and this is the one we used in my stamp camp, and we used this vellum paper. So I just took the Thinking of You from there, and again with my bone folder, I'm just going to bone fold this way and then this way, and that just kind of gives it a little bit more texture. Yes, you guessed it. This way and this way. Another mini glue dot. Add these two together, and then another mini glue dot. Add them to your card. You can separate them. And now the last thing that we need to do to finish this off, just to give it a little bit more bling and texture, is to add our pearls. And here's my set of pearls. I'm going to add one large one here, and then a medium-sized one on either side of that. And then some of our mini ones. And these are the cutest darn things. 1 and 2 on this side. You see how fast this is? And do you see how I'm picking them up? I'm taking my scissors and I'm actually closing the scissors to grab the glue with it. How many times have you had your pearls fall off because the glue didn't come with them? That's the beauty of these pearls, is that they already have the adhesive on there, and voila, there is your card. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? If you have any questions, let me know. Contact me. I love to chat with you guys. All of the measurements, all of the ingredients that I used on these cards are over on my blog, so hop on over to there. Have a great day, and thank you for stopping by my post. Take care.